Well, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa. I am the owner and artist here at the Top Drawer RVA located in Richmond, Virginia. Today's project, these tables actually are not even mine. A friend of mine gave them to me and said, please paint them purple and add some flowers. And of course, that is a very quick yes when anybody asks me to paint some color. She is actually a really good friend of mine, and I'm going to tag a video here where you can see another makeover I did for her. Carla is fabulous. She runs a nonprofit for women involved in domestic abuse situations, and she donates furniture, and I also donate my time and paint things for her all the time. But since these belong to her, I want to make them extra fabulous because she deserves it. Inspect these two beautiful tables and see what we are going to do today. First of all, structurally totally sound, in really great condition, but they are missing some hardware, so I will replace that. Let's take them apart and clean them with white lightning before we begin. These two end tables are Bombay style end tables, which was a super popular furniture store in the early 90s. But Bombay to me means something, and it means a shiny, shiny surface. So let's get a little extra step in our prep and use our bonding boss to make sure our paint is going to adhere well. So what is Bonding Boss? Bonding Boss is my gripping adhesion primer for anything slick or shiny. It also prevents any tannins or bleed through from coming out onto my piece. The little locks that are located on the front are a little faux and a little functional. The top ones actually work, the bottom ones do not. I tried to get them out with a little bit of a wrench or a hammer or something, but they won't come out without me damaging the wood. So we're going to try and paint around them and then touch them up with Gilding Wax at the end of this project. She said purple, so let's give her purple. This is a beautiful silk paint color called Morning Sunrise. This gorgeous lavender hue is everything. I absolutely love it. And when I think purple, I want to think soft purples. I don't want to overwhelm her room. And to be honest, I've already painted furniture for her before in this color, so I know it will go well with the other pieces that I've painted. As always, I always explain what the product is that I'm using and why I like it, because there might be somebody on here as a baby new beginner painter that might have questions. So bear with me while I go over the properties of silk paint. I love silk paint for a one color finish. This is not the paint I use for blending because this paint actually has a built-in top coat and a built-in primer. And when I do blending, I use a lot of water. Silk paint does not need anything added to it. It needs to keep its properties and stuff in value. So I just use it as is, 2 even coats over the entire project, and this is going to look fabulous. You will see me using my scarlet brush, which fits in that little can just perfectly, but also I love a scarlet because it's soft and smooth. This paint is self-leveling. It always looks very smooth and even, and it levels up really nicely. And I will only need 2 coats since this is going over top of that Bonding Boss, which is nice and light, so I will use less paint on this project. And also, Peep, my little puppy, that's Luna. Now I am ready to put the rest of this together. I grabbed some new hardware off of Amazon. I will link it below. It is so pretty and very gold. I love it. And I will be adding this beautiful My Favorite Bouquet transfer from Dixie Belle. It is massive. I'm going to open it up. It's 4 huge sheets. All I need to do is plan out my layout. So purple in itself is a pretty bold color, right? Doing just the front of these drawers, kind of like an inlay pattern, is going to really kind of class up this color combo. If I were to take this transfer and put it all around the sides and the top and the legs, it's going to start to look a little overdone. So when I use a bright, bold color pattern like this in transfers, I tend to kind of make sure that the transfer sits second to the paint. So for this project, I only used 2 sheets of the transfer and cutting each sheet in half to cover the front part of these drawers. Now I'm going to leave this in real time so you can see how long it takes me and what is really involved in applying a transfer over top of a surface that is not 100% smooth. Obviously, first you're going to come in here and you're going to cut your transfer to size. I like to cut it as close as I can get it to the measurements on the inlaid part of the drawer. You can see that I've taped off the keyhole. That is so that the transfer will not stick to the keyhole. I'm also going to take my scissors and cut right above where the keyhole is, and that's going to allow the paper to kind of bend a little bit better when you're laying it down across the drawers. I also don't smooth the entire thing right at the beginning when there's a little bump in the road like this. I like to start on one end, start it, smooth it, and push it over. You can see me using the enclosed tool. What that's doing is releasing the transfer from the plastic sheet. And I also have handy a very sharp knife so that I can grab the corner. Remember, these panels are inset, so it makes it really difficult to grab the corner of the transfer to start to peel it back. So after you can grab that tiny little corner, which takes me longer than putting the transfer down, I swear, you can come in with your tool and burnish it off of the plastic. Once you start to burnish it off from one direction to the other, you can continue to smooth it. You see me here kind of hit the middle. This is where I'm going to stop and work around the keyhole. Push it down flat again and then get it going. If you were to make a mistake and your transfer ripped or it didn't adhere well on one corner or one edge, you wanted to add more, you can always cut up the other parts of this transfer and then layer it down. There's no rules when you do this. You're just wanting to get it as smooth as possible and use the plastic and the tool to cover the entire surface area. And look at that. 2 beautiful tables, 2 sheets of transfers, covered both drawers. Now I'm going to apply the Dixie Belle Satin Clear Coat to the entire project. This is going to lock in my work. Even though this silk paint has a built-in top coat, I want the entire project to have the same sheen. So if I only did this on top of the transfer, the drawers are going to look different than the rest of the piece, and I don't want that to happen. Anytime I'm applying my satin clear coat or gator hide or any top coat to my project, I always use a damp sponge. This is the smoothest way to make sure you're covering the entire area. And I also dampen this sponge with a little bit of water. It helps make the satin clear coat just glide across the surface. Just so you know, if you weren't aware, to seal a transfer, you can use clear coat, you can use wax. It's not recommended to use hemp oil or gator hide on top of transfers. I like to seal them down with my clear coat, and if I want to add wax, I usually do right over top. Here I am installing that brand new hardware from Amazon, and I was worried because it looked a little large. But when I stepped back, I really liked the added value that it gave, and it looks really pretty on top of that transfer. A little touch of gilding wax on top of the keyholes where I might have had a little overlap on my transfer, and these little tables were finished. What do you think? She wanted purple and florals, and I think that I delivered. You all know that I love big, bold color, and these little end tables are totally giving. I absolutely love it, and I think that she will love them too. So next time you have to paint something slick or shiny, or you're worried about your paint adhering, don't worry. If you add Bonding Boss before you come in with any of your paint products, you're going to ensure that your paint will stick and will stick well. Thank you for watching today. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you again next time.